Indian paint industry is going through some transformation. There are new players who have entered the market, and as a result of which some of the stock prices of traditional paint companies have not gone anywhere. So we thought of deep diving into the paint industry performance as a cohort and understand what's going on with an overall industry structure. So we analyzed the entire industry performance from 4 different parameters. The first thing that we looked at is the profit pool really declining or not. And one of the things that we realized is that while the profit pool had declined to 30%, it has now stabilized to a decline of almost 7-odd%. So yes, profit pool is definitely declining, but not to the extent as it was happening earlier. The second thing that we looked at was the net profit margins. The paint industry companies had margins of anywhere between 12 to 13%. Now it has declined and come down to about 8 to 11%. So the decline is there, but again, not as much. The third thing that we looked at was revenue growth. We realized that the revenue growth has again slowed down from 8% on a year-on-year basis down to 1%. Now, this is a fairly flat industry, not growing as much as one would have liked to see. But the last thing that we wanted to look was the strength of the balance sheet. We wanted to identify whether the inventory and receivable as percentage of sales, is it changing significantly or not? And the answer was not much. But what we realized was the return on total asset is going down, which shows basically an increased capital expenditure by all the major players in the paint industry. So finally, what does this lead to? We had to analyze the entire paint industry performance also from a relative valuation perspective, meaning are companies today trading at a premium or at a discount to their own historical valuation? And we realized that except for 2 companies like Asian Paints and Sarka Paints, most of the companies are trading at a discount relative to their own historical valuation of anywhere between 5 to 10%. So overall, our assessment is that yes, paint industry is affected by competition. The growth has slowed down, the profit pools have slowed down, balance sheets have weakened to some extent, but the disruption is not as much as one would have anticipated earlier. And some of the companies are still available at a discount relative to their own valuation. So maybe, one should really look at what companies to buy depending on your own fundamental research on some of those specific companies. Thanks for watching. This is an insight from CrispIdea.